Yeah, it's Johnny Jones and I'm here at home and that hurt. There's a lot of CB radio videos out there talking about CB radio being dead. Now, I think most of them are clickbait, but there's a lot of people in the comments who are first-time users, and they're wanting to know what's going on. They got their uncle's old rig and put an antenna up, no one can hear them, or maybe they went on Amazon, got something brand new, and they can't hear anyone else. So I thought I'd take the time to make a video about some things that can definitely go wrong the first time around, because a setup seems easy, but sometimes it's not easy at all. So, let's go over it, because trust me, CB radio ain't dead. It really ain't dead. Alright, so the biggest reason why no one can hear you is usually caused by the antenna. Now, you've probably heard about SWR. If not, I've made a video on it up here. But there's other things you need to consider too. Polarization and height being two of them. So let's go take a look at that. And if you think you're far beyond that, stick around. There's a lot more than just antennas in this video. Ladies and gents, first and foremost, SWR needs to be lower than 2 to 1. Now, don't worry about a 1.3 or a 1.7 or whatever you've learned, okay? As long as it's below a 2, you'll be fine. Your radio will be happy and you'll be happy. Now, the most critical thing thus far is the height of the antenna. The higher, the better, okay? That means if you have a lot of mountainous terrain around, we want that antenna above that terrain if possible. That way you can get some line of sight local contacts. And here's something that a lot of people don't talk about, but polarization is really important. Now, when it comes to skip, it's not very important, but when we're talking about local line of sight contacts, it's really important. Let's say you build yourself a horizontal dipole, and most of you CB radio users who are new have not done this, but I'm going to describe this so you understand what I'm talking about. If you built a horizontal antenna, your polarization would be horizontally, okay? Most of the time, you're going to have a really hard time talking to someone on a vertical with that horizontal, unless it's skip. So, you probably think, of course I have a vertical antenna. Like most new CB radio users, I went out and bought one. However, your vertical antenna might be at a terrible angle, and I've seen this before. You're essentially beaming your signal into the ground, and of course you're going to get some good skip if you're actually beaming into the sky maybe. But if you can get it at a 90-degree angle and get it as high as possible, you're going to get some great local contacts. But if your antenna type really sucks, you know what I'm talking about, like one of these $20 jobs that you get at Walmart, you might get 4 or 5 miles out of this thing, but it's really not going to be great. So go ahead and get yourself a good antenna. You know, build yourself a monopole. If you don't know how to do that, I'll teach you. Build yourself a monopole, quarter-wave monopole. Put it up on your roof or something and have fun. All right, now let's say you're working with your antenna and you can't get your SWR lower than 2 to 1. You might have an issue with your coaxial cable. Now, you don't want to kink, smash, stretch, or bend this stuff. Now, this is an okay bend. This is an obtuse bend. You don't want to go any further than this. It'll actually smash the dielectric in this thing, and it'll cause all sorts of issues. You'll have high SWR. However, you might assume that if you do have low SWR, that your coax is totally fine, and that is true for 99% of the cases. However, there are exceptions to that. Now, if this thing has been sitting out in the rain, of course, for a long time, you may have actually gotten a lot of corrosion in this thing. So just make sure that you check it with your multimeter on continuity mode. And, of course, it may, in most cases, obviously, it's going to be fine. However, you want to move that around, okay? Because even if it's not corroded and eating your signal up, you'll want to make sure you don't have any intermittent issues. Because I've been plenty of times, I've taken an antenna out there, set it up, and my coax was messed up, and moving it this way or moving it that way messed up my signal entirely. So I've been out there playing around with an antenna, trying to get it perfectly set up, while the whole time my radio input is literally just broken loose on the inside. So make sure to check this stuff, just to be sure. All right, now this is probably going to blow a lot of people's minds, but I swear this is legitimate. You might be transmitting on the wrong channels, and I'm not even kidding. If you go to Walmart, if you go to Amazon, get yourself a standard Cobra radio, you're totally fine. You're going to have the standard 40-channel CB band, no problem. However, if you went out and bought yourself an export radio, a black box radio, if you don't know what that is, I'll show you, or just a radio with higher power, you may be transmitting on the wrong band. And if you're doing that, you do not want to do that for long. Otherwise, the FCC can come knocking on your door. Now, the FCC doesn't like messing with people very often unless they're forced to. However, if you have a ham who likes 10 meters and you're over there on 10 meters trying to talk to people, you're going to get in some trouble. So make sure that you have the standard 40-channel radio or at least make sure your black box radio is transmitting on the right frequencies, okay? That means channel 19 should be 27.185, okay? Done. So if you don't know if you have an export radio, the easiest way of telling is the band function. You won't find a band function on any of the Cobra stuff or the Midland stuff or whatever. If you have a band knob or a band function, you definitely have an export radio. Make sure you're on the band D, okay? D as in Delta, all right? Otherwise, you're going to get in some trouble possibly, or at least have a really bad time. Your antenna is up as high as possible. You have a perfect SWR. It's completely at a 90-degree angle with the earth. Your coaxial cable's been checked and you're on the right frequencies. What could possibly go wrong now? Well, there's a couple radio settings that could really mess you up. All right, now when I first got a radio when I was a little kid, I didn't know what any of this stuff meant. So if this is way, way beneath you, I get it, but I'm going to go over it anyway. You want your squelch all the way down, your dynamic or mic gain all the way to the max, and you want your RF gain all the way to the max. That way, if there's someone in the noise responding to you, you can hear them. Also, if you have FM as a capability on your radio, if it's a new radio, turn FM off, okay? Here in America, people use AM to gain contacts. They're not using FM, so turn that off, all right? Now, if you picked up a new radio, this is probably not going to apply to you, but if you picked up a used radio from the flea market or eBay or something, this could be a huge deal. All right, obviously, you could have a broken microphone, and that is highly probable, and I've seen it a lot, but you would be able to see that on your meter. Obviously, your needle is going to deflect with your modulation when you're speaking into your microphone. However, I'd still, just in case you have a broken meter, pick up a used little handheld CB radio so you can hear your audio. It helps a lot. But I'm not talking about broken microphones at all. I'm talking about something that a lot of people don't think about when they first get into radio, and that is microphone impedance. Both of these microphones fit my radio, and they're both able to be used, and they both do modulate my signal. However, this is a low impedance microphone. I can talk into this normally, and it will be very loud. This is a high impedance older microphone, and if I scream into this thing, it barely modulates. I'm not saying that it's so bad that no one could hear you, but it's definitely going to matter at range, okay? So, the reason why I bring this up is because a lot of times, you'll find a brand new or newer style radio paired with a really old mic. That's because the guy bought it, thought it didn't work because no one could hear him, and he sold it on eBay, and then you picked it up, and you're going, why can't anyone hear me? So, make sure that, of course, you can use your microphone with your radio. Make sure the input impedance is going to work. Now, with a newer radio, newer microphone, you're not going to have any problems. But it does happen, so watch out for it. Now, on some new radios like the President, I'm pretty sure you can change the impedance input, so that could work just fine, or that could work just fine. Just make sure you watch out for things like that, because this kind of stuff can really make you angry at CB radio, and it's an easy fix. Get another mic. If you're lucky, the back of your microphone will actually tell you the impedance. This one here is an older microphone, and it is 4,000 ohms. This is roughly 10 times higher than what a newer CB radio would want to see for a microphone. So, be careful, check your mics. It's a big deal.
I didn't vote myself. Hey, I ain't voted in the last two presidential elections.
Now, that conversation happened earlier tonight, and neither of those guys responded to me. And that's something that happens a lot, especially if you have a squatty, crappy little antenna. You can hear those guys, but they can't hear you. And the reason why is because they have amplifiers. A lot of people do. So what should you do about that? Well, a lot of people will say, hey, if they have amplifiers, I'm going to get one. The problem with that is that if you have a poorly matched antenna, you can actually blow these things up pretty easily, and you can drive them too hard. I would say, first and foremost, make sure you have the best antenna setup you possibly can have, because I have reached really far with a standard radio without an amplifier. 600 miles, 4 watts. It can be done easily. You need to fix your antenna situation. You don't need to boost your signal. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is critically important. If you've picked up a used radio, especially a Uniden and definitely a Cobra, you want to pop the covers off and see if there's anything that's been added or removed from the radio. I'd also recommend that you get yourself a power meter. yeah, you can always use your secondary handheld CB radio to get an idea of what you sound like to a degree, but it's not going to really help you figure out if you're modulating well. So this power meter will at least actually show your carrier and show your modulation. It will increase with your modulation. That doesn't always mean that it's going to sound great. Obviously, this one here actually, I don't know if it's very obvious to you, but a capacitor has been removed from this, so your modulation meter will swing really well, but it is actually clipped out the limiter circuit, so it sounds garbled and terrible. So, a little power meter, they're pretty cheap. There's a Pro Trucker one right there, 20, 25 bucks. And it wouldn't hurt to get a handheld CB radio to listen to yourself. Just do that, and you'll be good. Now, I've made a few videos on my channel about how to build your own antennas, but if you're more interested in buying one, I've left some products in the description, radios, meters, antennas, stuff like that. Hope this video helped you out, and I hope you get a contact soon. And until next time, it's Johnny Jones. I'm here at home, and I'll see you later.